I wanted to make this video as sort of a benchmark. I don't think my life as I know it is going to be the same after this point. I have decided that I'm going sober for, I think, my life. I just do not like drinking, and I've had kind of like a, I would say, just not a good relationship with alcohol. Not that I abuse alcohol, I don't think I've ever abused alcohol. But to be honest, I've never liked alcohol. I have never liked drinking. I have. That is such a. Okay, that's not true. I did like drinking, but drinking for me has always been a form of escape. Like, I have never been the kind of person who can appreciate the taste of whiskey, is what I'm saying. I can never appreciate the taste of wine. Like, all red wine tastes like shit to me. White wine, okay, sparkling wines, I was really getting into over the past 2 summers, but it's still not something that, like, the taste is so good that I have to keep drinking it. Other than that, I've never liked tequila, I've never liked vodka, I've never liked any of those things. Like, the way they taste, I don't like it. I'm not a connoisseur, I'm not an alcohol connoisseur. I just don't think I have that palate. So why have I had a weird relationship with alcohol, you might ask? I've had a weird relationship with alcohol because it's a form of escapism. If after a week, hard week, what you want to do? You want to go out and have a few drinks with your friends and just let loose. It has been a form of escapism for me. It has been a form of lubricant for social interactions. But I think I have started relying on alcohol just too much in social interactions, and it has kind of been bugging me a little bit. And I'll tell you why. For example, the best thing that alcohol does for me is that it eases my anxiety in a social setting. So if I go out and get a drink, say I'm on a first date with somebody, and my nerves are acting up because it's the first date, my instant thing to recommend is like, why don't we get a drink? So we do get a drink, but my judgment, the way I'm judging, not that I'm like sitting there judging somebody's physical features, the qualities, I mean, how I'm judging that person. How are they acting? How are they paying attention to me? Am I paying attention to them? Are we looking into each other's eyes? Like, those sort of judgments are kind of muddled once I start drinking on dates. This is just one example. Another example is going somewhere with friends and just like meeting new people, again using alcohol as a way to reduce anxiety. But then what ends up happening is, again, my judgment becomes too muddled and I just become like really agreeable with alcohol. So after a drink, I do let loose, and that means that if somebody's like, let's do another drink, let's do a shot, I'm like one of the first people who's like, yes, let's do a shot, let's do a drink. So I just become somebody who is just very agreeable and very fun. But I've realized one thing about myself is that I am fun regardless. If anything, I think alcohol makes me have fun in a different way. It makes me, like, it turns me into somebody I'm not really like. It turns me into like a more like crazier person, but I think I am pretty crazy to begin with. So how most people are with 2 3 drinks, I'm like that normally, and I'm not even kidding. If you play music, if music's playing, if there are a lot of people, that's where I get my energy from. I get my energy from the environment, from the people, from the music. So I don't really need alcohol to like let loose in that sense. I am pretty free flowing. So it hasn't done much for me in social settings, apart from like just kind of turning me into somebody who's more agreeable and somebody who I kind of don't like, because I feel like I wake up the next morning and I'm like, well, I had like 5 drinks, why did I do that? I didn't even want to have 5 drinks, so I just did that because I was drinking. Apart from that, it just has not been that good for my skin. Like, I don't know, these are like more things about appearances, but my under eye bags, my skin, which right now it looks good because I haven't been drinking. I think I haven't had a drink in at least a week, but whenever I stop drinking, everything just starts, I don't know how to describe it, but everything starts shining. Like, everything seems like it has like a glow to it. Like, my hair looks better, my like eyes look better, I look less glazed, my skin looks better. So whenever I just pause drinking or put a pause on drinking, I just start feeling and looking better. I feel like I can pay more attention to my fitness goals. I can pay more attention to other things in my life. My self esteem increases. I feel like I don't feel like shit all the time, and that makes me feel good about myself. It makes me like my energy levels are boosted, like internally and externally. So, over the past week, as I haven't had a drink, I was like, why was I drinking? And I'll tell you what led me to this point right now. A couple of weeks ago, I was going on dates with this person, and all we were doing was the first date we got coffee, but every other date after that we were drinking. And then I just felt like I was having drinks, and I was like, I don't know. I think after a while I realized I'm like, that is not how I want to build bonds with people. I don't want to connect with people over alcohol. I don't want to find my person or find somebody like that. Like, I don't want to be doing that. I also feel like when people drink, they just become like more handsy. They become like more, they're like, oh, can I come over to your place? Well, why not? Like, they just become more like, they become harder to like reason with in that sense, and I become easier to reason with. That's my phenotype, and so that is just not a good mesh for me. And so I was like, I don't want to really meet people anymore in that setting. So the reason I wanted to upload this video is because I wanted to benchmark this as a new essentially era in my life. I feel like I've also just had plenty of time to drink. I've drank for all my 20s. I haven't missed out on anything. I don't think stopping drinking now I will miss out on anything. I think if anything, this is the right step for me, for what I want to do in life, for where I see myself going, my growth as a human being. I think this is the right decision. So if you watch my channel, if you know me socially, if we interact in social ways, just remember that I'm not drinking, and so don't push drinks on me. Please don't do that, because I think my friends are known to do that, and I really don't want to be saying no all the time. But if you just watch this channel just for me, I just want to tell you that, I mean, I've never drunk and recorded, so this is not going to change our relationship as it stands. But I do feel like I want to encourage people, if you're dealing with substances in your life that are like alcohol, or there are other substances that you rely on, I would urge you, and I'm like, you do you, baby, you do you, but I would urge you to take a look at what's going on, and if you rely on the substances in a way that is like a crutch, that you are using them as a form of escape, or you're using them, I don't know, to like ease something. If something's hard, you're like trying to like not feel your emotions but ease them with something. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that as well. But this video was a simple video to tell you guys that this is the path that I've chosen for me right now, and I do intend to stick with it. If anything changes, I'll keep you guys posted, but for now, let's usher in this new time in my life with a Diet Coke.